Hey, welcome back. Before we get started, let me ask you something. Have you ever sat in a doctor's office, nodded along to everything they said, walked out the door, and then realized you understood absolutely nothing? You're not alone. Millions of people leave medical appointments more confused than when they arrived. That's exactly why today I want you to meet someone who is changing that. Someone who has spent decades in medicine and decided that the most powerful thing he could do wasn't just treating patients in a clinic, it was reaching you, right here, right now, with the kind of honest and simple health advice your doctor wishes they had time to give you. His name is Doc Mark, and he is a senior health expert with over 30 years of experience in internal medicine, preventive care, and patient education. Stay with me, because what he shares today might be the most important health information you hear all year. Dr. Mark did not always plan on becoming the kind of doctor who talks to cameras. For most of his career, he worked long hospital shifts, managed complex cases, and watched patients struggle, not because the medicine failed them, but because nobody ever sat down and explained things in plain language. He saw people skip medications because nobody told them why those medications mattered. He saw families panic over symptoms that were completely manageable. He watched preventable diseases progress simply because the information gap between the medical world and everyday people was just too wide. One day, he decided he had seen enough. He picked up a camera, sat down at his desk, and started talking. Not with complex jargon, not with charts and statistics that make your eyes glaze over. Just honest, clear, human advice from a man who has been in the trenches of medicine for 3 decades and genuinely cares about your well-being. So, what does Dr. Mark actually talk about? Everything that matters to you on an ordinary Tuesday morning. He talks about why your blood pressure numbers are more important than you think and what you can do about them starting today. He talks about the silent symptoms that most people brush off for months before they turn into serious problems. He explains what your lab results actually mean in language that does not require a medical degree to understand. He breaks down the truth about common medications, which ones are necessary, which ones have alternatives, and how to have a real conversation with your own doctor without feeling intimidated. He covers sleep, stress, nutrition, aging, chronic pain, heart health, diabetes management, mental health, and so much more. And every single time he does it the way a trusted friend with medical knowledge would do it, sitting across from you at a kitchen table, looking you in the eye, and telling you the truth. One of the first things Dr. Mark always tells people is this: your body is always communicating with you. The problem is most of us were never taught how to listen. A persistent headache is not just a headache. Unexplained fatigue is not just stress. Swollen ankles are not just a sign that you were on your feet too long. These are messages, and when you learn to read them early, you give yourself the greatest gift in medicine, which is time. Time to act. Time to make changes. Time to get ahead of something before it becomes a crisis. Dr. Mark teaches you how to read those messages without turning you into a hypochondriac. He gives you the right level of awareness, the kind that empowers you instead of frightening you. He also talks about something that most health content online completely ignores, which is the emotional side of managing your health. Being diagnosed with a chronic condition is not just a physical experience. It changes how you see yourself, how you relate to your family, and how you move through the world. Dr. Mark addresses that with the same seriousness he brings to clinical advice. He talks about how to cope, how to communicate your needs, how to stay motivated when managing a long-term condition feels exhausting, and how to find the balance between taking your health seriously and still living a full and joyful life. That kind of guidance is rare, and it is one of the reasons people keep coming back to hear what he has to say. Another thing you will notice about Dr. Mark is that he never talks down to you. He does not assume that because you are not a medical professional, you cannot handle real information. He believes that an informed patient is a safer patient, and that the more you understand about your own body and health, the better decisions you will make. He treats you like an intelligent adult who deserves complete answers, not the watered-down version that gets handed out in a 5-minute appointment. When he explains something, he explains it fully. When he recommends something, he tells you why. And when something is uncertain, or when you genuinely need to see a doctor in person, he tells you that too, clearly and without hesitation. His honesty is one of the most refreshing things about the way he communicates. He often says that the greatest tool in preventive medicine is not a drug or a procedure. It is a conversation. A real conversation where a knowledgeable person sits down with you and says, "Here is what is happening in your body, here is what it means, and here is what you can do about it." That conversation is what Dr. Mark is committed to having with you, every single time you press play. Whether you are someone managing a chronic illness, a person in their 40s who just started worrying about their long-term health, a caregiver trying to understand a loved one's diagnosis, or someone who simply wants to live longer and feel better, Doc. Mark has something valuable for you. His advice is grounded in science, shaped by decades of real clinical experience, and delivered with the kind of warmth and clarity that makes complicated things feel manageable. So here's what I want you to take away from today. Your health does not have to feel confusing or overwhelming. There are people like Dr. Mark who have dedicated their lives to making sure that no matter who you are or where you come from, you have access to the kind of clear, trustworthy medical knowledge that can genuinely change your life. The information is here. The expertise is here. All you have to do is show up and listen. Make a decision right now to take your health more seriously. Not in a fearful way, in an empowered way. The kind of decision that comes from knowing you have a trusted expert in your corner who will walk you through everything you need to know, step by step, in plain and simple language. Because you deserve that. Your family deserves that. And your future self will thank you for making that choice today. If this resonated with you, if you felt even one moment of recognition or relief while listening, then you are exactly the person this channel was built for. Don't let this be the only video you watch. Come back, explore, ask questions in the comments. Share this with someone you love who needs to hear it, and most importantly, please subscribe to my channel so you never miss a single piece of advice from Doc. Mark, your senior health expert, and your guide to living a longer, healthier, and better informed life.